this one heads their way. So happy Monday. Anybody Disneyed? Got my Disney. I got my Woo! But that's okay. Nobody knew what your spirit peeps. Lord. I actually forgot about it, and then I saw my lights there and went, oh, saved by the bell. Okay, no James. No Luke. And the rest of you are still on business. Awesome. Okay. So today we're going to make gold pennies. I hope you have seen us. Oh, look. What the heck? It's there again. Last week it stopped being there. That is so weird. The little plus thing to make. Sorry. Oh, does that work on Maxu? Yeah. Yeah, it did. Yeah. Okay, it's command instead of control. Okay. Yeah, of course. That disappeared last week. Remember, I was looking for it. You guys was a thank you. The internet. Oh no. All right, so we're going to do the Alchemist stream tomorrow. We're going to take notes on bonding theories, but today we're going to go ahead and do our lab, since we're all. Most of us made it here. Not everybody, but most of us. Those of you that are normally coming to campus, I'll have a makeup day sometime, or you can just, yeah, I don't know how to do makeup days because there's no lunch, and people have to get on the bus and go home, but I'll think about it, and if not, we'll, thank you, Jen. We'll go ahead and I'll just do a video for those of you at home, and you can get your observations. I'm going to do that after school today. Okay. All right. So the lab, we already looked at it last week. Oh, my glasses are probably gonna. There it is. This is our activity. We're going to be handling some pretty caustic chemical. That's the sodium hydroxide. I'm going to tell you that it is already mixed for you, except bench number 2, they dumped theirs over by mistake. So bench number 2, I'm going to have to get you a beaker with the sodium hydroxide and the zinc. I'll just let you use mine. And then let's go through the procedures. So how many of you remember the penny? Did any? Galileo, remember? Am I echoing? Am I echoing?
Miss Sketches?
Yes.
I'm here. I just wanted to let you know.
Okay, I'll get it on the meet recordings. Thank you. 2020 won't work very well, so. Okay, so the best ones, I think, for making gold pennies are the older ones. Some people like using the newer ones, but they're too risky when you're heating them up at the end. You can make a mess because zinc has a lot lower melting point, and it's bad. So I'll show you later. But you'll probably notice that your pennies are pretty dirty, and so we have to clean them. So step number 1 on the lab is already done for you. There's a solution in a 250 milliliter beaker with some gray sludge in it. That sludge is zinc powder. And so you're going to start with a penny that looks copper. You're going to put it in the zinc powder, which will make it look silver. And then you're going to, after that's all done, you're going to heat it briefly in the burner flame, and that will make it gold. Okay. A couple of pieces of information. It's best if you don't touch the face or the back with your fingers because they have oils on them. So try and only hold it on the edges after you clean it. It's no big deal right now because they're already dirty. So at your station, there's also a 400 milliliter beaker that has vinegar and salt in it. And the vinegar is a weak acid. Salt, of course, is an ionic compound. When you put them together, they will make a little chemical reaction and clear off the tarnish on your penny. When you're using these, you want to make sure that you, again, don't touch it with your fingers, especially the faces. So you're going to use your crucible tongs. I'm going to switch this. Look and stand over there. This so you can hear me, hopefully. Okay. Hair ties are a must. So if you don't have a hair tie with you, they're on the counter. What you're going to do is you'll also probably need to get a beaker of just cold tap water. So have that out because you're going to need to rinse it. Oh, I almost forgot. So on Friday, I showed you guys the zinc cores, right? It dissolved off with the nitric acid, the copper. And then I put some pennies in to hydrochloric acid. So these are some new pennies. I just filed off the edges and put them in hydrochloric acid. One of them I opened up, and you can feel how ridiculously thin the copper is. So again, the new pennies, you know, have zinc on the inside of them, and that reacts well with the hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid will eventually dissolve the copper, but it takes a little while. So even though I left those in over the whole weekend, there's still copper left. So that's why we don't want to use the newer pennies. All right. The next thing we're going to do, well, that's going around. So your pennies are dirty. It's just a fact of life. Coins are dirty. You're going to put them in the big beaker with salt and vinegar. You're going to use your crucible tongs. Make sure the tong ends are pointed down. Okay. You can get them if you point them up, but it's a lot easier. There's more like tweezers if you have them pointed down. You're going to pull them out of vinegar and salt. And then also on the counter, are pieces of steel wool. And what you're going to try and do is once you get your pennies out of the salt and vinegar is shine them up. So, I mean, it says to shine them before you put them in the salt and vinegar. You can do that if you want. Okay. So I made this one a lot shinier so you can see the two sides. One side is all, where's my camera? Why is it moving so wonky? It moves totally normal up there, but it's moving all wonky here. Okay, so. I'm so terrible at this. Ah! Anyway, it's shiny on this side and it's not on this side, okay? Because I took it off with this steel wool. Oh my gosh, it's like back in the trailer. Have you guys ever back in the trailer? Oh my god. Lots of fun. I don't do that very well. So, the shinier you get it, the better. And you can shine it before the vinegar and salt and after the vinegar and salt. Once you've got that done, when you take it out of vinegar and salt, use the tongs and put them into your beaker of plain water. And then you can do it a little bit more with the steel wool if you want. If not, you're ready to put it into the beaker that has the sodium hydroxide and the zinc. And I'm totally out of order because I'm switching gears from physics. So you want to, the hot plates should have a wire gauze on top of them. I took the zinc and you can see one of them doesn't. I took the zinc and sodium hydroxide off of them so that when physics was back there doing their lab, they wouldn't bump them. Some of these wire gauze are kind of warped, and so it might be a little bit wobbly. Before you put it on, you can kind of bend it and get it a little bit flatter. And you're going to put them on the hot plate. Plug in your hot plates. That's the first thing you need to do is plug in your hot plates. And if you have a dial it all the way to 10. Then start cleaning your pennies. If you notice this starting to bubble and you have a dial it back to 5. If you don't have a dial, pull it from the socket on the risers, the electric sockets, the outlets are on the risers. Don't yank the cord, pull the end of the plug end out. All right, so what are you doing first? I totally forgot one thing. What do you have to do first? Always goggles. Good. Okay. Goggles and hair ties, get safe. And if you want to wear an apron, you can. You don't have to. So goggles, hair ties, plug in your hot plates, put the zinc on there, get it warming up, then clean your pennies. I'm so out of order, right? Once you've got your pennies all clean and ready to go, put them into the zinc and sodium hydroxide. Don't drop them from up here. Put them inside the beaker and then let them go. But don't drop them from way high because we don't want it splashing out on you. Okay. It's going to take 5 or 10 minutes, give or take, to get it so it's totally coated with silver. And once that happens, when you pick it up, there might be some silver sludge on them. It's not really silver, of course. What is it in here? Zinc. So just kind of, hold them, find them in the bottom and just kind of get the most of it off. Put that into the water again. Okay, and then put it on a paper towel, make some observations, pat it dry, get any of the big chunks off. And then the last part of this, once you're all the way through all that, is to heat them in your flame. And the flame, remember, as hot as at the top of the turquoise cone, you don't want it super hot. Have the cold water right by your burner and hold the edges and then heat the back. Rotate your wrist, heat the front, rotate your wrist, heat the back, heat the front. Just keep moving it in the upper part of the flame. Don't put it down low. Okay, and then when it starts to turn color, just even the slightest little bit, drop it in the cold water. And you should have some alchemist magic going on there, all right? Questions. So the data table has you making observations. They don't have to be super detailed, but some observations about each of the pennies. Obviously, it's copper. It's mostly copper if you're using an old one. Is it really silver? No, it's just silver colored, right? Is it going to really be gold? Just colored. Okay. All right. So. Those of you at home, I will make a video, like I said, and post that. You are free to go. You'll just have to watch my video after school today.